Chris,
Yes.
I have one question. It's, should we talk about God in business, or how can we talk about God in business?
That's a great question, Andrew. I'm glad you asked it. We should talk about God in business. And I was thinking about this a lot recently because I feel like when I was growing up, there was this philosophy idea about don't talk about God because it might be offensive, or because you might, you're trying to control people or something like that. But what I have experienced in my life is that there are a lot of people around us who are surprisingly open to spirituality. And my spirituality is God. So I get to share how that affects me. And it's my story. So it doesn't mean that I am trying to control you or trying to change you, but rather I'm just sharing my own story, my experience. And so, yes, I work in a place where that might be more open, with being at Aroma. But I think for me, I've been in places where it's actually also less accepted, or maybe not accepted at all, and still find opportunities to be able to share my story and to share the principles from the Bible. I was encouraged by different Old Testament stories. One of those being the story of Daniel, who is someone who said, I really want to follow what God wants me to do no matter what. And he's very open and honest about that. But then also on the other side, someone like Esther, who in the whole book of Esther, God, that word isn't used or mentioned, but there's an emphasis on living out the principles that God provided in fasting and in seeking after him. And people can see how that works out and how that affects our lives. So we get a chance to be a good witness by our hard work and by sharing our story, and also by looking for opportunities to bless and encourage others above and beyond. And those are some ways that I would start talking about God and have some fun.
That's good. What about me? I think I'm trying to...
Let me get it on here. Good.
I think for me, yes, we should definitely talk about God in business. And I think it really depends on how to define the word talk. There's a lot of time when I'm thinking of share the gospel, it's related to how can I share Jesus to other people or with other people. But I think our action is louder. So remind yourself, I think as a Christian, not I'm doing this perfectly. It's more how can I love one another, and how can I really let people see hey, I love God and love people, so God be glorified. Because of course I'm plus one with her sharing this is my story. I'm sharing my story with you, and I'm not trying to force you to believe what I believe, but I think this is a testimony for other people, and they will be able to taste and see who God is, and he is really good. So I think be able to just fruit of the Spirit, love, joy, kindness. I'm definitely not saying the right order, but I think live out those things in your life. I think those are the evidence of hey, we are following Christ. And don't be afraid of sharing what you believe, because I think that it's one. I think right now the Bible verses comes to mind. It's when I'm ashamed of gospel, that Paul share. He says that I'm not ashamed of gospel, and I think that's one of the things that a lot of time that we'll probably worry about. If I let people know I'm Christian, that people might just they don't want to be my friend anymore. But that's who you are, right? That's the first identity, the first priority identity that we should live out. So yes, we should share the gospel, or we should share our faith in work, and we should keep on doing that. Yes, that's my sharing.
kind of sloppy with the camera today, but yay! We did it!